Hey, I'm just recording for Castrum Marinum, which I assume is going to be Emerald Weapon, and I just wanted to record this real quick. Normally I would just comment on it after the fact, but the idea that you're basically playing as... They're calling it the G-Warrior, but I assume that this is basically Sapphire Weapon, but we only see in a cutscene in Final Fantasy VII. But this roleplay idea is genius, and I only wish that they had come up with it way sooner, or that they could like backport it to the earlier story stuff, because honestly, in Final Fantasy, I really don't care about my, everyman character that anyone could be, the Warrior of Light. I'm more interested in literally everybody else, and stuff like this is super cool. So, just a quick note, I'm just going to go ahead and finish it. I'll pause the recording and come back once I queue for the actual duty. Popping into the next quest, and I dig this, like, good guy remix of the Ultima Weapon music. It's pretty cool. I can see why people are saying they want to see me do the main story quest for Endwalker if it's cool shit like this. I was very turned off by all of the interstitial stories. Okay, this is Sapphire Weapon, and that actually looks like Sapphire Weapon from FF7, so we're kind of a distinct entity here, I guess. But I was going to say, I was turned off by the interstitial dwarf story in the Alliance raid in Shadowbringers. I don't know how much of that was Yoko Taro, but this is great. Back to pausing the recording. Why can't I just use the G-Warrior for the fight with Emerald Weapon? Because it got damaged in the fight with Sapphire Weapon. That's fine. I was kind of hoping that that was just going to be a one-off thing, even though it was very cool. These story cutscenes, I don't know. There's still good stuff in them. It's the same problem I always complain about, that there's just, like, it's too much. You can communicate the same information in, like, 1/10 the text. It makes it hard for me to just kind of play it and be fully invested in the story. Anyway, enough complaining. I'll come back once I actually start queuing in. They mentioned that this was going to be underwater, which I was hoping they were going to find some way to simulate the underwater materia countdown aspect in the Airtam Storm. Are the two things I'm looking forward to from this fight. Wow, this queue popped instantly. Okay, maybe it's just Alliance raids that are a problem. I had, like, turned off my controller and everything. Pretty cool looking. I really like that Ruby Weapon fight. I think I mentioned that I got the I Beat Ruby Weapon t-shirt at PAX East 2020, aka the last PAX. The last time I'll probably ever do one of those wait in line with a bunch of people to fight a Final Fantasy boss things. It was tuned really hard too. They usually tune those to be a little bit easier. I also have the Ravana shirt. And the Susano shirt. But looks like we're full. It's fine. Nothing too crazy tank-wise. Okay, cool. Start not underwater, so I'm curious when the water part comes into play here. It's gonna rotate. Got it. Oh, cool. Like the concentric rings effect. Oh shit, I stood right in that. Ouch. Okay. Thought I was able to get out of range of it. Hashtag magnetism. Okay, they've got polarity indicators. Positive, positive. Ah, okay. Makes sense. They repel each other. Assume if it was positive, negative, that they would suck into each other. Cool. Split. Side scathe. Oh, that's kind of neat. saucer separation here. Everyone's gathering around this blue circle. So that when it landed, it didn't knock us off the edge. Gotcha. I thought they made this thing look a little bit more like aquatic-y, given that's how you deal with it in the Final Fantasy VII. Actually kind of hard to do on a controller. While maintaining the camera and still doing your rotation. Hands. Things I'm waiting for are, is the underwater materia stuff going to become relevant? Are we going to end up in the water? And is there going to be an airtam storm? Materia storm, right? This is a mechanic nobody knew about back in the day. That Emerald Weapon did damage to you that was a multiple of the number of materia each character had equipped. So if you had more than 9 equipped, you would take 99.99 and just die. So they're all positive again. Ah, but that's, I see. You could project that they were going to get knocked apart. Okay. Arms just popped off to do something. Splitting again. The arena's smaller. No red formation. Side skates. That's cool. What of the more complex patterns are willing to ask you to deal with now? You can't quite do a full-on bullet hell in a game like this, but... Okay. Check magnetism. So we're gonna repel each other again, right? So if you stand in the dead center, we should be safe. Cool. Got it. Mine's ultimate. I really like Shake It Off. I think it's one of my favorite abilities. It's kind of a cool thing to be able to do as a tank. It makes me feel like I can do something with slightly more than just spam my rotation over and over, right? And it's especially fun to be able to land those when I'm just learning to fight. It'd be a little bit sad if this is it here. If we get to 0% health and that's the end. It's not a bad fight, it's just... I can't see it being terribly longer than this. Usually trials are about this length. This is a much easier fight to sight read than Ruby Weapon. Like I said, we did Ruby Weapon at PAX, and most people lost. I think it was like maybe a 20% success rate to get the t-shirt. And every other fight they've chosen has been both tuned down significantly. Oversoul now. Yeah, we are going to get a phase 2, which is exciting. Either tuned down a bench or the actual mechanic wasn't that bad. So we know the pilot dies when they oversoul. I like the Final Fantasy blue font text they go for that. It's great. talk about using Nail's Soul in another one. Interesting. Not only are we not underwater, we make age resets. I guess this is like a stealth Gaius fight then, basically. Kind of a neat idea. I wonder if there's a checkpoint there. So we got people that get little arrow lines on them. That's exactly what it sounds like. They need to be as close to the wall as possible so they don't get pushed into the edge there. Oh, that's an attack. Jesus Christ. I'm tanking now, which might be bad. Let's see. I don't really know what I'm doing. Get by the last one, shit. Phantasmatus. That's an attack name. To the Black Wolf. So I see a gap on one side. Fire away. Now I see. The rest of them have guns. Sure. Cool. That's neat. I guess I don't mind them using Emerald Weapon for a stealth Gaius fight. I'm curious if they're going to do something similar. I assume there's going to be one more weapon after this. I'd be surprised if they don't do Diamond Weapon. But I certainly wasn't expecting it. Overcoming the synthetic Orsay system deals 859,000 points of damage to the Emerald Weapon. Okay. Just in case it was a tank buster. Play it safe. Alright, looks like they've defined a global symbol for tank buster, which is kind of cool. Don't think I hate it. Before, I feel like you could figure out that it was a tank buster based on the name, but there's no reason not to just tell you, right? Like, entirely reasonable. One of them's gonna die here to be pushed through the wall. I see. Defines the shape of the AoE. I don't know if I'm allowed to. Is this gonna count? It did. That was a cool instance. I enjoyed it. A little sad about the lack of airtime storm and lack of water component, but still, it was a really cool concept. And I like that they're like coming up with something different to do with it. Alright, I'll be back for whatever the next one is. Bye.